You thought the walls around you were solid. You thought the ground beneath your feet was steady, safe, reliable, yours. But the house you built your life inside of, it cracked. It split. It fell away, piece by piece, until you're left standing in ruins you didn't ask for. Betrayal doesn't knock on the door. It kicks it down. It storms through without warning. It takes things you thought were untouchable. Trust. Stability. Love. A sense of home. And it steals them without apology. And when the dust settles, you are left in the wreckage, rubble at your feet, dust in your lungs, echoes clinging to the walls of empty rooms where laughter used to live. The darkness finds you there. It doesn't creep quietly, it surges. It's not only around you, it's inside you. It whispers in your ear in a voice that you almost mistake for your own. You are nothing without what you lost. And the weight of that whisper presses heavy on your chest, so heavy that even the act of breathing feels like work. Maybe you felt it at night, when silence swells so loud it feels deafening. When the weight of memory settles on your ribs like stone. When the pillow is too soft to hold the pain. And you are alone with echoes that refuse to fade. Maybe you felt it in the morning when your eyes open. And the first thought that greets you is not hope, not possibility, but the sharp sting of what's gone. This is not the kind of pain you can polish into a neat lesson. This is the cave, this is the storm, this is the drowning. There's no shortcut out. But here's the truth. When everything else collapses, when the roof caves in, when the walls crumble down, something remains. What remains is the raw, unfiltered you. Stripped bare, unadorned, undeniable. You are still here. Still standing. Still breathing. The darkness may try to swallow you whole. It may press closer, wrapping itself around your ribs, pouring itself into your thoughts, but it has underestimated you. Because even in the wreckage, even in the silence that hurts, you are here. Still breathing, still rising. And that is where survival begins. The ruins are quiet now. No more crashing walls, no more shouting, no sudden collapse, just silence and you. And silence is not easy. Silence can feel louder than chaos. It presses in on your chest, it magnifies every ache, every memory, every question you don't want to ask, but this stillness is where the real strength lives. Not in pretending, not in numbing, not in outrunning the ache. Strength is here, in the sitting, in the choosing to stay with what hurts, to let it wash over you and not drown. People will tell you to move on. They'll tell you to be strong, to distract yourself. But what they don't see is that strength is not skipping the pain. Strength is looking straight at it, holding its gaze, breathing through it, and staying. One heartbeat, one breath, one night endured, and then another, and another. You may feel buried under loss, buried under betrayal, buried under debts, mistakes, regrets, the weight of it all pressing down, making it hard to even lift your head. But listen carefully. Buried is not the same as gone. Buried is not the same as ended. When the world buries you, sometimes it isn't a grave. Sometimes it's planting. The soil is dark, yes. It is cold, yes. It feels like an ending. But in that darkness, something is beginning, something invisible, something you can't see yet. But something that matters. A seed doesn't bloom in the light first. It splits open underground. It breaks before it rises. And that breaking, it looks like ruin, but it's actually birth. And maybe that's you. Breaking in order to grow. Splitting in order to rise, becoming something that can only ever exist because of what was lost. You, still breathing, still here, not defeated, not finished. The darkness would like you to think it has won. It would like you to believe that silence means emptiness, that stillness means nothing. But even now, in this quiet place, your heart is defying it. With every beat, you are saying no. With every breath, you are saying, not yet. With every moment endured, you are saying, I remain. The silence is still here, but it doesn't feel the same anymore. It isn't empty, it isn't threatening. Now it's space. Space for one breath. Space for one heartbeat. space for the smallest act of trust. Not in people yet, not in promises, not in words that can be broken, but in something simpler and closer, something that has never betrayed you. I want you to trust that the ground will hold you when you stand. Trust that the air will meet you when you inhale. Trust that your body, tired though it may be, is still carrying you, moment by moment, step by step. The collapse tore away your roof. For a long time that felt like ruin, like exposure, like danger. But look closer. When the roof caves in, the sky comes rushing through. That wide, unbroken sky, that light you never noticed before. The horizon you didn't even know was waiting. And maybe this is what trust looks like now. Not grand, not loud, but steady, subtle, defiant. Every time you let yourself trust again, even in the smallest way, you're rebelling against the betrayal, against the darkness, against everything that wanted you to turn cold, to harden, to give up. So trust becomes an act of defiance, an act of strength, a quiet declaration. I still believe in life. And here you are, still breathing, still rising, still daring. The silence is no longer a threat. It's no longer just a void, it's a canvas. And it waits for you patiently, like paper waiting for ink, like soil waiting for rain. You don't have to know what to paint yet. You don't have to know what to grow. The act of showing up, of breathing, of enduring, that is enough. Not because you forgot what broke you, not because the pain has disappeared, but because you chose. You chose to trust that you will not stay broken. You've walked through the ruins. You've sat in the silence. You've learned to trust the smallest things again. And now you rise. Not untouched, not unscarred, but maybe that's the point. Because scars aren't stains, they are maps. Maps of where you've been, maps of what you've survived. Each one proof, not of weakness, but of resilience. Every scar says, I was hurt and I healed. I was broken and I rose. I was buried and I pushed through the soil anyway. Maybe you'll never be who you were before. And maybe that is not a loss. Maybe that is a gift. Because who you were before did not know this strength. Who you were before did not know you could stand in wreckage, chest cracked open, heart in pieces, and still be breathing. Now you know. So So you rise, not to erase what happened, but to carry it differently. To walk forward, not as someone untouched, but as someone transformed. Picture this. You bend down into the ruins. You pick up one stone from the wreckage. It's cold, it's solid, heavy in your palm. You carry it with you. Not as weight, not as punishment, but as proof. Proof that you survived the collapse. Proof that you walked through the cave, you sat in the dark, and you found your way back to light. Proof that even when everything around you fell apart, you remained strong. The darkness tried to bury you, but you were never the grave, you were always the seed. And now the soil breaks open, now the light pours in, now your roots stretch deeper, your branches reach higher, your voice grows stronger. You are standing in sunlight, not fragile, not naive, but stronger, wiser, alive, still breathing, still rising, and ready at last to begin again. From ruins and silence, you've learned to remain. Through shadows and losses, through heartache and pain. The night tried to break you and wanted you gone. Yet somehow you breathed and you carried on. The cave did not claim you, the storm did not drown. The weight pressed you under but could not keep you down. Buried in darkness, you shattered, you split. But seeds only rise when the earth covers it. Your scars are not endings, they mark where you've grown, each line on your body a map of your own. A trail through the wreckage, a song carved in skin that whispers, you lost, but you also did win. So carry the stone from the ruins behind, a symbol of strength, of the battles you mind. Hold it in silence and let it declare, the fire did burn, but I walked through the air. Still breathing, still rising, still daring to live, still opening palms to the love life can give. No longer the grave, you're always the seed. And now you're everything broken hearts need. So, step from the shadows, let sunlight begin. The ending was lost, but the story is within. For even when everything falls and decays, the soul you are made of will push through the clay.